Let us continue following such that we catch up very well in this topic of letter writing. Previously, there is a letter that I left you with where you are supposed to answer some questions about that letter, and it also showed us the layout of the different parts. The layout of the letter, highlighting the different parts of the letter, and that was in comprehension. I still insist, use the handwriting that we guided you to use before we broke off, and always do a snapshot of your work and let us interact through WhatsApp to do corrections together with you. Now, children, we are now going to do the real writing. We are going to compose. We are going to do our own composition of letter writing. We are going to make sure that the different parts of the letter are well laid in the letter that we are going to write. Guidance number one. Guideline number one, not guidance, but let me use the word guideline. If you're going to write a letter, it has come in an examination. Remember the examination papers, they don't put margins. So as a candidate, first get your ruler and put a margin. Don't make a crooked line. Get a ruler and make a margin. That should always be the first thing before you write a letter. Before you make a letter in an examination. Now, candidates, there are some points to follow when we are writing letters that I really want you to take note of when we are writing letters. There are some simple guidelines that you should internalize or take note of whenever you are writing. Guideline number one, use simple and precise language. In fact, the word simple is better in that line. Use simple language and always try to be precise. Be exact, be straight to the point. We used to say that don't beat around the bush, don't cover your point. Be precise, straight to the point. So in letter writing, use simple language, which can easily be understood. Don't complicate your kind of writing. Another guideline, in this case, in the use of simple language, avoid using bombastic words. Don't use too big words, whereby the person reading your letter even needs to get a dictionary to get the meaning of the words that you have used. Your communication will not be effective if at all you're using words which the reader is not going to understand. Remember, in the letter, you are communicating, and your communication should be effective, my dear candidates. So avoid using those bombastic words. Nobody is going to give you a mark for using bombastic words. And also avoid using and try to always be clear when you're writing. Your communication should be very clear, candidates. Avoid using slangs. There are very many slangs these days for you candidates, your age. There are very many slangs. I usually see teenagers' letters and you can't understand them because the slangs are too many. So if you're to use slangs, your letter may not be clear, the communication will not be effective, then you will not be an effective communicator. Another one is remain on topic, don't be off topic. Now for examination purpose, someone has given you instructions here. Remain on topic, avoid being off topic. Then another one, use short but meaningful sentences. Use short but meaningful sentences. And lastly on this, for my submission, avoid writing letters when you are out of your senses. That means that when we are annoyed, we We have lost our senses, actually. There are very many things that we do and regret whenever we are annoyed. So I advise you, my dear candidates, since even these letters are called friendly letters, write in a friendly way. When you see that you're annoyed, don't communicate. Otherwise, you will make mistakes that you will regret. It's not part of what you're going to do, but it's just a piece of advice. So we are going to see how we really can write a letter. Remember our main parts of the letter. The first one is the address. And my address as a candidate or as a teacher at Trinity Primary School, my address is this way. By my letters are going to be delivered on this address, Trinity Primary School. Dear candidates, if I've decided to use the small letters, every letter in the name of the school or my place should begin with the capital letter. That's why you're seeing Trinity, capital T, Primary, capital P, and school, capital S. After writing the name of the place, that is my school, I put a comma, just as you see, Trinity Primary School. Then I go into P or box. Remember, I've drawn a margin and everything that I'm writing should start from the margin. P-O. In actual sense, when I'm writing P-O, I don't put dots here. But in most of the textbooks that you come across, they have these dots. But in actual sense, when you go into the dictionary does not approve the dots. So we are not going to put the dots in P-O box. We put our box number of Trinity, which is that P.O. Box 6391. Where is Trinity from? The main city is called Kampala. My dear candidates, we put a full stop here. You keep on punctuating your letter, your address properly. Put a comma every after that line. And an address, a proper address, comprises three sets. It is in three sets like this settings. The place, the post office box number, and the city or the main town where that place is from. Please take note, if your place is starting with K, capital K, the bars are at the same level. The bars up here. If you do like this, then that will not be capital K, and you're likely to fail the whole address, my dear candidates. So take note of that. So children, there are several types, like 3 types of paragraphing. Today I'm going to give you examples in 2, but today I'm going to capture one type of paragraphing called the full block. The full block type of paragraphing, whereby everything is aligned on one side like this, following the margin. This is called the full block. There is that indented type, which our counterparts in the secondary school love most, recommend most, but in primary school, even at KLE, this one is highly recommended. So my dear children, we have put our address properly. Check how we have punctuated it. And after that, the set I'll give you 1 mark. If you pass it very well, check the way I am punctuating the address. So my lovely ones, afterwards I skip a line. After writing the place where the city or the major town where Trinity is found, I put a full stop. Then I skip a line and put the date. My dear candidates, it's more recommended to write the date beginning with the day. Supposing today is Wednesday, I put my capital W, capital W like that. I write my Wednesday properly like that. I write Wednesday properly. I put a date separator as a comma. Wednesday, 20th Make sure you write in words the month and the day. 20th May, you put a comma, 2020. Don't put a full stop. Then we go into the salutation. Here I'm getting also half a mark. I go into the salutation, still I skip a line. Now we go to our instructions. Here we go to our instructions. Our instructions, you read them properly. Write a letter to your father. So the addressee, we see the addressee is the person you're addressing the letter to, which we say this person can be called the receiver. So the addressee is your father. You can say, dear father. Dear father, specific father, capital F. Once this one crosses, it's not a capital F. So be careful. Make sure this bar does not cross. Dear father. Dear father, this is the salutation. It's also going to earn us some marks here. Then after that, we do the introduction. We say the introduction. We can begin by dear father. It is long. It is long since I last heard from you. I last heard from you. I can begin like this. I last heard from you. I hope all is well. My introduction can be in two sentences like that. It is long since I last heard from you. I hope all is well. Or I can say, dear father, how are you? How are you? Nowadays, how are you? Nowadays, I put a question mark like that. How are you nowadays? I can decide to use that in my introduction. I hope all is well. I hope you are fine. I hope everything is okay. Alright, my dear candidates? So you choose. There are very many ways that we can begin the introduction. So I usually advise candidates, don't go straight into the main reason for writing. Sometimes the main reason may be an announcement, which daddy may not enjoy this getting in your letter. We need to use words that put him in the mood to read your letter further. Now, we have finished our introduction. Remember we said that after the introduction, we do the body. We do the body. We are going to skip a line. This type of block paragraphing requires you to put the paragraphs in blocks. The block, if you are going to skip a line here, I skip a line, and then I start a new paragraph here. How am I forming my paragraph? I am going to start highlighting. I am highlighting the main points here in the instructions. I read the instructions once again. Write a letter to your father informing him about the date and the time. Children, the main purpose. We are going to write the main purpose of writing here in the second paragraph. I can say, I am writing purposely to inform you. I'm writing purposely to inform you, or I can say the main aim. I can decide to say the main aim. The main aim for writing to you is to inform you that our visitation day is on Sunday, 7th June 2020 at 9 a.m. But we don't encourage this. For me, I'm allowed to write it in the question, but in your answer, you have to write time in words. At 9 o'clock in the morning, don't write this. The main aim for writing the main purpose or I'm writing purpose, you choose. Then you inform him all the things that you want to inform him about the date and the time. You have finished that paragraph. We are still in the body. The body has several paragraphs depending. Now I've already captured the time. I've captured the date. They're saying you should also mention 3 things that you want him to bring you on that day. Get another paragraph. When you're coming on that day, please bring me this and that. I would also like you to bring me a dictionary because we use it so much we use it very much in the English lessons. I'm tired of borrowing from my friends. That is another paragraph. I skip a line. Remember, I have a margin from where I start. I skip another line to make another block of a paragraph. I have captured the 3 things I want Daddy to bring me on that day. You capture, you write whatever you finish putting in your letter, you underline it. That one I've captured. In your letter, inform him of how life is at school. We are getting another paragraph and say, here at school, life is so interesting. Life is so interesting. You mentioned any interesting thing. For example, I can say, life is so interesting. Okay. Life at school is so interesting, and I rarely miss home. That is how I've begun my 3rd paragraph to capture this point of how life is at school. Life at school is so interesting, and I rarely miss home. We have games and sports clubs which keep us very active during the weekend. This paragraph is one because interesting program is connected on how life is at school. We have games and sports clubs at school which make us active during the weekends. I belong to the chess club, and our coach, Mr. Chinji, encourages us to believe in ourselves. Currently, I am the top chess player in our school. Everybody is proud of me. That is a paragraph. Remember not to write mine, I want to write yours. That is a paragraph about how life is at school and any interesting program. Elaborate your points such that the reader gets interested. Don't just say, there are clubs at school, I am happy, and stop there. Not really. Elaborate such that your letter is interesting. Then, I've captured that program, I've captured that one in my 4th paragraph. Then the 5th paragraph, don't forget to write about your performance in the previous 2 exams. That is BOT and MOT, that is middle term. My academic performance has greatly improved. In the beginning of term exams, I didn't perform well. I decided to revise harder in preparation for midterm. You can't believe my results for midterm. You will be surprised at the marks that I got when you've come for visitation. I have finished my body. Now, I want to complete my letter. I want to end my letter in its own paragraph. I can end and say, I love you, Daddy, and I cannot wait to see you on visitation day. Please send my greetings to Mommy and my young brother, Jordan. I'm finished. Now, there is that part which we call the conclusion. Put the relationship. You're loving who? You're loving son. I am not saying that every time you can use this, but for examination purpose, I'm just encouraging you that when you use this, you will get them up. There is this one also, use affectionately. Sometimes candidates fail the spelling, yet this one is very simple. That's why I advise use the word loving plus the relationship. Your loving son, Kevin. Your loving son, Kevin. Why like that? Don't put a full stop here. Your loving son, you put a what? That you comma, don't forget it. Your loving son, Kevin. Now, children, at this moment, I know you have picked something. We're going to have several practice. We're going to have a lot of practice in letter writing, but at this time, you've picked something. In what usually trouble candidates is how to organize the paragraphs, but I am saying that every main point here, capture it in its own block and elaborate it in just 3 sentences to make a paragraph. Then, punctuate very well, punctuate your sentences very well, such that you can get marks out of it. So my dear candidates, you're going to write a letter for me. You're going to write a letter based on these instructions. After writing it, you snapshot it, send it to me, I will mark you and give you feedback. Thank you for being attentive. I know I'm going to receive that work as soon as you finished. I always encourage you to stay home, stay safe, wash your hands with soap properly, such that we get you back